Melted zombies. It would be nice if we could have a flamethrower and we can really melt down these zombies, but as you can see, the dart traps work really well, and hopefully that teaser made you interested enough to watch me actually build it and walk you through how it's done and how it works and what you can do with it. I've been getting a lot of really great responses to my base builds, and I'm happy to keep building and showcase you different ways of killing the zombies and building your bases. This particular one I had on my multiplayer server for my home base, and it's really working very well, and people are asking me, hey, can you show how you've built it? How does it work in detail? So I thought, absolutely, let me show you. And since I built it on survival, you definitely will have seen that it's possible. It's not just because I'm in creative mode and God mode that I can do this. Obviously, I do a lot of these builds in survival as well. So if you enjoy simple yet very effective base builds, you probably will love this one because it's actually really effective, even late game, because, well, its killing potential is really high. And due to its design, you can actually incorporate it into a lot of different kind of bases that you have. So watch on, and hopefully I earned that subscription. So hit that subscribe button, like, ring that notification bell, and, you know, make sure you follow me on Twitter, join my Discord and all of that. But most of all, make sure you subscribe. Help me get up to those 10,000 subscribers on my channel. So first thing we need a hole. We need a hole. So I have chosen a fairly flat area here. As you can see, you could set it into like a mountain or something. Yeah, as long as it's a reasonably steep mountain. Don't make it like something like this because that's a bit difficult to do, but I'm going to do it here because it's nice and flat. On the road here, it doesn't really matter, but flat just makes it easy to just showcase, and of course you can adapt it as you want to. We're going to make it, and let's see, probably about 5 deep. You could make it at, you know, a minimum 3 deep, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 extra. So it's going to be 5 deep, and of course 6th is going to be the flooring, and 2, 3, 4, 5 is going to be 5 long, and then an extra 2 because obviously you need to have the walls as well, and it's going to be 3, 4 wide. And these are just suggested sizings. The reason I make it 5 long is because that allows you to put a garage door if you want to. You could make it longer, definitely, if you don't want to have a garage door. The reason to make it 4 wide is because the actual corridor or the actual pit is going to be 2 wide, and then of course you have to have the blocks on the side, right? So if you do like this, you'll see it's going to be 2 in the middle, so it's going to be 4 wide. And I'm going to dig all these out, and it's going to go down here. I'm going to just take everything out and see how easy that was. Well, at least if you're in... Oh, I did not make it long enough. All right, very quick fix here then. Of course, I'm building this in creative because otherwise I'll be shoveling here for a while, and we don't want to do that. We want to get to the meat of everything to make sure things are working fine. And right, I think that's it. So we have the bottom here, and let's see, did I make it long enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's correct. So let me just fill everything in here while you watch. So we have a hole all done. And by the way, don't build this one while you're watching it for the first time, because I'm going to take out some of these walls to put in the traps and everything. I'm just showing you the general how it's laid out. So this is the hole. That's the important bit. Now we also need somewhere that we're going to have as our base, and this is going to be up here. So I'm going to make this, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th block, you can make it a little higher if you want to, but because I'm going to need a staircase up, I don't want to make it all the way high. And probably I'm going to bring it 1 higher because I do have a bit of a hill here. So something like this, and let's make it back here. It doesn't really matter. I mean, this is where if you are building this next to your base or at the wall of your base, like I did on my multiplayer server, you can basically just incorporate the design into whatever you have. Because the important thing is that you have the hole, which is where the zombies are going to fall, and that you have somewhere to stand safely so that the zombies don't actually come and bash you. That's the really important bit. And how this platform and everything is designed doesn't really matter. It's just there to keep you safe. Okay, something like this. Now, you want to get the zombies down, and there are a few ways of doing that. I am going to use these reinforced concrete wedge tip. Now, the way you would do this normally is that you would get the normal concrete, the wet concrete, and you set it down, and then when they are dry or they've set, then you upgrade them to reinforced concrete, and you could upgrade them to steel as well. You know, it doesn't really matter. You see, I'm going to do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to flip them around. Let's see if I can get this one flipped around as well. Yep, like this and like this. So what will happen is that the zombies will be running here, and they'll slip down here, and they'll break their leg. No, actually they won't. They might ragdoll a little bit, but they won't break their leg. So you see, it's right over the pit. We are going to connect it to a walkway. So we'll do this and like this. And then we're just going to have a bit of a walkway here so we can have a little bit of a chance to shoot them. The longer you make this one, the better, up to a point. If you make it way too long, you're going to have a lot of problems because the zombies are going to have problems pathing. So don't make it too long. This is reasonably okay. We are then going to put the staircase. So let me do that like this, and we have stairs, stairs, oh, stairs, stairs, and we do something like this, and we do the final stairs. Now, if you're doing this, for real, you might want to make sure that you have. Let's fill this one in. That you have better ways for the zombies to get up into the corridor. If they can't path in and away, if they can't path in, then you will have problems. Okay, so now they can definitely walk up here. Let me put something below here. I took out that one by accident. As you can see, the zombies can run up, and that's what they will be doing. They'll be running up here. Slowly, they'll be running here trying to get to you, and they'll fall down, and that's what we want. Let me just build this one up a little bit as well. You see, I filled this in, and then I'm now going to put some of these iron bars. And the reason I like to have iron bars here is because it allows you to shoot through, and that's can be fairly important because you will get vultures. And the more vultures you have up here, the less you'll have actually coming here, which means less experience and less kills. And during a long hold, you could actually run up, even with 8 concurrent, you can run into 2, 3, 4, 5 of vultures, and that's a significant downside. I also have a path down here where I can put a ladder. I'll do that later. Here's the open path that we have. We're going to put a hatch here. And the reason for the hatch is because, and let me do a wooden one first, is because you want to have something like this, where copy rotation, like this, where you can block off the zombies if you really want to, and you can open and close your preference. So if you're getting spiders and everything, if you can just close them. I normally just keep one open. If there is none open, sometimes the zombies decide that they're just going to bash things instead of path, so I tend to just keep one open, and you know, you can still stand here and either shoot with your guns or melee. So that's our general design. Pretty simple, right? This one is probably more concrete to build than this one. You could do this one in cobblestone if you want to, but I would recommend waiting until you have reinforced concrete because it will take some damage. So now we're down here, and my leg is sprained. It's all right. So the reason I said to wait with building is because we're going to make a little bit of a hole here. So this is where we're going to get dart traps. I'm going to take some things out, and I'm going to put on my electric fences and everything, and the same thing on this side. And let me do this. Right. I'm also going to take out, oh, that's the wrong side actually. Apologies. This side, let's toss this one down there. Care about that one. We're going to take out this one. I'm going to show you a trick what you can do as well. So we're going to take out a little bit of, that gives me a little bit of a woozy feeling. And this is one of the reasons having it deeper can actually help, because now I'm literally where the dirt is, so zombies could dig down, which means I have to do a lot of concrete and everything, which is a little bit of a pain. Making it deeper so that they fall further can be a reasonably good thing to have because they will take more damage the further they fall up to a certain height. But anyway, so what do we have here? Let's see. We are going to put tripwire posts. We're going to put dot traps. We're going to put a lot of things. So first thing we're going to do, and you can do this on one side just so you can see how it looks. We're going to have these ones, and these are the air slits. And everything down here, you probably want to make sure you upgrade to steel at some point. Reinforced concrete works, but it will take damage. So steel it up if you can. So you're going to have this one. We're also going to have the dot traps like this. And like, come on, give me to be like this. And right behind, we're going to have, let me make that a little bit nicer. We're going to have the tripwires. The tripwires are important because these are the ones that allow us to set off all the traps. We're going to do this, and right behind that, we're going to have the electric fence post that's going to be one down. You see, it's basically in line here, and we'll do the same thing here. So this one is exactly the way we want to have it. Now let's see, my base was up there. Okay, so I'm going to just make a little bit of a hole here to put down my generator. And I'm going to put in some of, let's see if I have engines. I'm going to refuel. I'm going to turn it on. And then we're going to start connecting things. Where is my wire tool? There it is. So first, we might want to have a switch. I always like to have switches. It's not strictly necessary, but I think it just helps. So we're going to connect generator to switch. And the order here is really important, so pay attention. Switch goes to the first tripwire. Okay? The first tripwire goes to the second tripwire. So this now controls where the things are being triggered. Now we want to do something when it's triggered. So firstly, we're going to connect it to the dot trap. We're going to connect it to the dot trap. And of course, we want to make sure we connect it to the dot trap here as well. And from this dot trap up. So, and let's see if I can turn this on. Is on. This one. There's a slight flick. That is when you're tripping this one. So basically the tripwire now is firing off the dot traps on both sides. Really important. But what about the electric fences? Simple. We connect the second tripwire post, second one, to the second fence, and this one straight across. And you saw that's a bit difficult. If I go too far, it goes red. I can connect it, so make sure it is not red. And now it's connected. So if I walk here, it should buzz me. Yep, it does. And if I put in some of these ones, do that. Let me just put a little bit here. It should be firing as well. Yep, you see it's firing both up and down. And if I do the same thing here, let's do a 250 here and 250 here. You should see these ones are also firing. So electric fence is activated and all the dot traps are now firing. And I'm going to do the same thing for this one. And this is why, for one, when you're building it, having a bit of a path here on the side can be helpful. Like here, so you can actually connect things because you'll need a bit of a better angle. Because obviously you need to, you're going to need to close all this up. So let me close this up. I've now gotten things built up. I have 4 dart traps on each side. I've connected all the tripwires. It's all going across. And then I have everything else here as well. So the reason I opened this one up is because I'm going to show you a little bit of a trick. So one of the problems is that you end up getting all these nice loot bags inside. And you don't want to go in there in order to loot. So what you can do, let's see if I can turn this correctly. We're going to do like this. So these are the concrete wedges. If it's just like this, it's not enough to actually block dogs and crawlers and everything, but you can see actually fairly well in. So what you do here, you then create another layer with the wedge tip. And what this means is that no zombies can get through, but you can reach all the way through here in order to loot. So if there's a zombie here, and I'll show you later, you can actually loot here. Of course, you might not want to do that during the haul, but you can. I've done that as long as you're quick up and down, depending on how your base build is, because you want to be able to get here without the zombies getting to it. So this way you can actually loot all the way through here, and that's really convenient because you don't want to have a way in. If you have a door, they're going to bash the door, and you don't want that. I'm going to switch this on. Everything is running. Let me get up to the surface here and in my base, and I'm going to make it daytime again. Ooh, much better. So let me spawn in. Let's see. Let's get a zombie. Let's get a feral Darlene. Make some noise. And of course I paused the AI here. So they'll be running here and they'll decide, yep, they're going to come up. They should be coming up here, yep. And fall down. And they're being buzzed by the electric fence, and they're taking damage from the dart trap. You saw. Why is this one damaged? And let me see how much that is. 2012. So what happens when the zombies are running here? As they fall down, sometimes they will bash because, well, it's one of the new things that they put in Alpha 17. Zombies actually bash because they get frustrated. But let's do feral cheerleaders. Let's get 25 of them. See if they'll get here. Yep, they'll obediently be falling down. And they're taking the electricity. Now there's so many, so they're stapling on top of each other. So having more, having deeper can be an asset there. Right now, because it's 5 deep, they will not be able to climb out. Even if they could climb out, they would actually be just running all the way through. So you saw 25 coming at the same time. That means that they will land on each other and they will probably do some damage here. Yep. While these ones are being killed, the one that's up here is dealing some damage. You saw it's not too much, but a couple hundred over that period of time does mean that it'll take some damage. If you make it deeper, they tend to staple up less, but they won't be able to get out. And if you're having very high concurrent zombie count, you might want to make sure that this one is longer. Meaning you make it 8, maybe 10, such that they have more space to actually spill out and not stack up. But that really depends on how many concurrent zombies you have. Normal gameplay 8, not an issue. If you have like 25 like this, or 32 or 64, you might want to make it longer. You can actually even make it wider so that you have 3 in between, and then you have triple up the dart traps and the electric fences. That also works. I'm just showing you sort of the small compact version. So how does this work with demolishers? Everyone wants to kill the demolishers, right? So actually, let me spawn it here, because otherwise he's going to take a while to get through. Oh, okay. No. Right. Yeah. Of course, everyone wants to kill demolishers. Normal zombies, not an issue. But what if we get some demolishers? So, if this was during a whole night, they would be running, obviously, because it's nighttime. They would be running, they'd be falling down here, and you see they are being buzzed by the electric fences. You can see the dots are shooting at them. Now, I have 2 of them, but let's simulate that it's 1 and maybe some other zombies. You see, 1 is dead, second one is going to die there, and let me just quickly go down here. You will notice it's taken 500 damage here and 900 damage here, because these ones are going to get attacked by the demolishers as well. They do massive damage. So even these 2 could do 500,000 damage. And this is why you want to make sure you steal everything up. If you don't, they might actually take them down if you have a lot of them over the period of the whole horde night. So I always steal all these ones up because, well, it's not that much steal anyway by the time you can do this and you get the demolishers, but it will definitely keep them on the inside rather than coming on the outside. The trick is that the electric fences buzzes them and stuns them. When they are stunned, they will not be attacking, and they will still be taking all the damage from the dart traps. And the good thing about the dart traps is that they do not set off the demolisher. So let's get in one more. See how he goes down. There he gets hit. He got stunned. You see he's just standing there and wiggling. Now he turned around and he's gonna die really, really soon. He hasn't bashed a single time. He's just been walking back and forth, and it might have taken one beat here. No, he didn't. I think he wanted to, but he got stunned and got killed, and that's basically how easy it is. So just a simple pit like this, these quad dart traps per each side will deal massive damage as they attack any zombies you have, including the radiated and demolishers. Now, one thing that you want to actually keep an eye on, and this is the electric fences. These ones are fairly crucial to the whole design. And this is why you might want to make sure that you have a way to get down here to repair, because if you know the electric fences, like just like the blade trap, it takes some reflected damage, meaning that as it buzzes and stuns the zombies in there. Let me see if I bring in another one. Right, fine, he's stunned, but you see this one went down. It's 189. Let's see if it goes down a little bit. Okay, it doesn't. Okay, so the more you have, oh, you got some here, some loot, and this lets me show off the actual loot corridor here. This loot function, you can get pretty much all of it here, which is really nice. So these ones degrade when they deal damage. It's not the 1-to-1 kind of thing. It's not one per zombie they kill, but it's as they pass through. So these one will go down during a whole horde, and if you have a lot of zombies or long horde, these ones can go down to, I think it's below 50, then they stop working. So you might have to go down, if you notice that they're no longer being buzzed, go down, quickly repair them, and go up again. And that should take care of it. And of course, no horde base is complete without testing it out. And I think I have 16 concurrent zombies here. And you'll see how this works. Everything has been turned up. You'll see, yep, definitely more than 8. They'll be coming here. I am currently in God mode just so they don't kill me while I'm standing here. You see some of them walk up and decide to do some bashing. That's just part of the normal frustration. And most of them you can see. See if I can get in here and get a good view. They will be falling down here, and that's about it. And if you have a very small one like this 5 wide, they will staple up on each other and deal some damage. And again, that's why if you want to have a lot of concurrent zombies, you might want to make it just a little bit longer so that they don't do that as much. That will prevent some of the damage that is being dealt out to the walls. If you're just having 8, it's less of an issue. But yeah, you don't really have to do much at all. They will basically just run here. You'll see they'll do up the stairs. The spider might jump. Yep, and he's probably going to beat me. Yep, that's why my screen is shaking. Let me get into my... like this. Yep, let's make sure we have that one. And we look down here. It's a really good place to just stand here if you want to shoot as well. They are nicely barbecued, or electrocuted at least. And if you don't want to shoot them down there and they all die, you could stand up here and just shoot, which is actually really easy as well. It's a little bit harder since they're running, but it works. You could get some nice headshot, especially if they line up here. If you're using armor piercing bullets, it also can be pretty good, because you'll see it goes straight through multiple of them. You see I'm actually hitting multiple. This one, if you have a marksman rifle, it will do even more damage, but otherwise you can just let the zombies fall down and die here. So this is see, my game stage is 525, so it's really high because I've got a really high level here, so I'm getting mostly radiated. And the dart traps are taking care of them. Cop vomit is always an issue, but you can sort of hide it if you wanted to, or you build some walls, something that just minimize them vomiting at you wherever they are. Maybe down there, but they will all be dying. But let me show you the reflection piece here, and by reflection I mean the reflection damage to here. Oh, is it this one? No, wrong one. Oh, now I'm inside the trap. Don't do that. Oh, no. Okay. You'll see this one have taken a little bit of damage. It's not really that bad. This one has taken more, because probably most of them are on this side. And the reason that more of them are coming here is because this is the one that is open. If I do this, they'll start to favor this side a little bit more as well. And if you're standing here shooting, of course you could kill even more of them, but the dart traps will take care of them otherwise. And of course you could do your looting down there. If I had a junk turret, let me take one of this, get some ammo. Let's do some reloading. I did not get the ammo. Let's do that. Junk turrets are actually really powerful here as well. The only thing you want to make sure is that if there's the demolisher coming, you pick it up. Or I think if I do, yeah, that you at least do this so that they doesn't shoot the demolisher, because it will trigger him. And you don't want that. But this will help you if you want to just shoot them, because they'll stagger. You see they really get a nice stagger here. You get a lot of the experience as well. You notice I'm getting a lot of experience here, and that's because I have advanced engineering, which gives me 50% of the electrical trap kills, as it says. If you're shooting, you get 100%. If the junk turret kills the zombies, you also get 100%. So you could just stand here and do the shooting and get a lot more experience than if you just let them fall down there. And did he? Oh yeah, no, he ran out of ammo here. If you use the drum magazine, he'll have even more ammo, but this works pretty well. As you can see, they're just dying down there, and you can do this the whole night. I mean, if you saw my on my survival base, I was basically doing this the whole night, and I've done that multiple times. It's a really simple way of getting a fair bit of experience, a fair bit of loot as well, and it's kind of fun. It's, you know, because you're standing here fairly safe as well. If I go out of God mode, okay, he's getting buzzed there. I can stand here. Cops I tend to take out first because they will vomit, and you don't want them to vomit and... Oh, he's dead. You don't want them to vomit at you. None of the other ones are going to deal damage. The spiders sometimes can jump over and kill you, which incidentally happened on the weekend when I was streaming. And yeah, Vicious died that way. Vicious Violets. I think Satis died that way as well. They don't pay attention to what they do. But anyway, some of the, if you kill them, you can get some of the bags out there. And you could theoretically walk out here yourself as well. You're looting. You just have to be careful when you go back so you don't fall down. Because if you fall down there yourself, you'll have a lot of problems. So you could put in a hatch, vault hatch or something so you can actually go down. But, you know, I tried just not to fall down. And stand here and shoot. See, isn't this simple? Really simple way of doing it. When I've done a horde like this, I have burned through probably, and he's going to vomit, so let's shoot him. I burned through probably around 4,000 iron darts. Oh, did he explode? Maybe. 4,000 iron darts. So it does take a little bit of iron, but it's really not that bad compared to using gunpowder in order to kill. Well, you need gunpowder in order to get your ammunition, and that can be a little bit tougher than just mining iron for darts. And this is all there's to it. Isn't this simple? And oh yeah, you got him right before. And this one now is depleted. So yeah, I don't think it gets much simpler than this. This is a really, really easy way of getting a lot of kills, a lot of experience, and a fair bit of loot as well. So, what do you think? Is this something you would build? And if you do, you can definitely make it longer, make it wider, and just set it into your base in a way that just fits your build, because this is really, really configurable. You could, for instance, have just a corridor into a mountain and have a fall trap and have these ones. And without having this up higher up, you could just have that set into a mountain, for instance. But usually the way it works best if you have it up on a platform, because then you're really ensuring that the zombies are running up the stairs that you put in place for them. And now they're just vomiting all over. But I hope you enjoyed this, and if you're here, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. Thank you very much. I will catch you next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.